Welcome everyone, it's Peggy here. For this project I'm turning a maple bow blank, and I'm going to be using some colored pencils to decorate the rim. So I hope you can stick around and see how it turns out. And what I'm doing here is, other than finding center with the center finder, is marking some lines around the rim of the bowl so drilling holes can be a bit more precise. So using the lines drawn around the rim to space out some holes for the colored pencils to go into. And the holes had to be big enough and small enough and exactly the right size so that the colored pencils would fit into and stay in securely with either glue or resin. And I did end up using resin instead of glue. I thought it would be a little bit more secure. So using a ruler here just to measure out evenly spaced holes around the rim. Using Total Boat resin here, medium hardener, and just need a little bit to put in the holes to secure the colored pencils. So make sure you watch to the end. In the end there is a phrase I will let you know to comment in the comment section, and your name will be entered to win a prize to be drawn during next week's video. So stick around to the end to hear the secret phrase. And yes, before anyone makes a comment or is about to type one right now, I know there is an easier way to do this with the colored pencils than putting the entire pencil in there. However, I couldn't find believe it or not, I couldn't find a rubber band to safely cut them on the bandsaw. So this was what I resorted to, and I guess I just needed to use the hammer really. And I didn't have any small pieces of colored pencils lying around, so this worked. It just was a little different of a process, I guess. So removed the colored pencils with the chisel, and now I'm drilling the hole for the woodworm screw in the center. Now that it's placed on the lathe, still a little out of balance, and I will be taking some light passes to true that up. The lathe is at around 650 RPMs at this point. RPM, sorry. I know someone will correct me. RPMs just sounds better, but I know it's not RPMs. We've had this debate already. Let's let it go. Bit of a close-up shot here. I'm using the Carter & Son bowl gouge. There is a link in the video description. I've said it before, but I do highly recommend this tool. It's very well made, and it will last a long time. And it sharpens very nicely. And just looking at the figure on this blank, and it's a really nice one. So the diamond parting tool here to start the recess for the foot. So working the corners here with some push and pull cuts, some shear scraping. And now is as good a time of any to say thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope you continue watching to the end and see how it turns out. But please consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber here. There's a new video every week, and it is free to subscribe. There is a subscribe button on the lower right-hand corner of your screen. If you wouldn't mind clicking that, that would be amazing. And thank you in advance. And if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. That would be greatly appreciated. And I guess I didn't film all of it, but I did make a foot there instead of just leaving a recess. And as you can see here, I'm sanding. And after sanding up to 400 grit, I'm using denatured alcohol to clean the surface of any dust before applying sanding sealer. And I get a lot of questions about what kind of sanding sealer I use, and I will link it in the video description, but I use the Zinsser's brand sanding sealer, and I use 70% sealer and 30% denatured alcohol of the mixture in that bottle. Here I'm using a Scotch-Brite pad to denib the surface before applying the abrasive paste, and following that the polishing paste. And I feel like a broken record when I say, but I do use Axe on almost all of my projects. If you haven't tried it, my viewers do get a 10% discount code if you use the code PF10 at checkout. There's a link in the video description to the Axe website, made in the USA, and quick shipping as well. Onto the Axe polishing paste. This is one of my favorite parts. So buffing off the polishing paste and seeing it shine even more. It just really highlights the grain very nicely. It doesn't leave a glossy shine per se, it really, really brings out the natural beauty of the wood. So having reversed it in the 4-jaw chuck, making sure it is balanced as much as can be before starting to hollow out the inside. And also I get some questions sometimes when I wear a glove. This is a nitrile glove, not a glove that would be a safety issue using the lathe. Disposable gloves I feel are pretty safe when using the lathe because if anything got caught on it, the glove would just rip off. And it saves my hand from the shavings, especially on this one with the colored pencil debris coming off. It was hot and didn't feel good on the bare hand. So continuing the hollowing out process here, going slow and stopping a lot because I really wanted to see the location of the colored pencils and making sure that I'm leaving enough width of the rim to make it look centered around the rim and aesthetically pleasing. So using the scientific method there to gauge the thickness of the bowl, the two thumb method. I guess I should buy some calipers. Some denatured alcohol after sanding up to 400 again to remove any dust before applying sanding sealer. And then we will go through the same process of denatured alcohol, sanding sealer, and Axe abrasive paste and Axe polishing paste. And if you've watched this far, thank you so much. Um, in a moment, I'm going to mention the phrase to say in the comment section to be entered to win a prize that will be given to a randomly selected commenter. And here is the final product being taken off of the four-jaw chuck, and I will give a close-up in a moment. But to get to the phrase, if you've watched to the end, please comment in the comment section, birthday cake, and I will know you watched to the end, and your name will be entered to win a prize, and I will be in touch with you if you win, to be picked during next week's video. So again, thank you so much. Some pictures coming up here in a moment. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you do, please consider giving it a thumbs up, sharing it on your social media, subscribing and all that jazz. But until next time, peace out.